from Long Island, New York. And yes, we drink water and coffee, not water and coffee. Oh God, I've been an alcoholic for a long time, and I worked on self-will. I had to prove to everyone I can handle it. You know, I'm a mom of 2 teenage daughters. I'm a mom, a stepmom of a beautiful 9-year-old stepdaughter, and I have a wonderful husband. I have great parents. My dad is home. He's 87 years old. He's also, he was in the program for many years, and my mom is here with me. She came on this trip, and I am just so grateful. I wouldn't be here 9 months ago. I started my journey. I knew I had a problem. I would say the last couple of years. I was in detox once, kind of forced to go from my family because I was just drooling literally in a room, wanting to die, and I was taken for the 5-day detox back at home in Long Island, and they told me to go to rehab and, you know, do the program. And I said, no, I got to get home to my family, and I got this, because I was self-willed, right? It wasn't God. I thought I had God because I'm Catholic. I go to church every week. I do the motions, but it was not the same. So I joined Zoom. I am a Zoom baby, and thank God for Zoom, because again, I wouldn't be alive. And I met a group in New Hampshire. It's called What's Good About Today, and the name of it just attracted me. I tell you, this was the best group I ever met. It's on every morning, 7 a.m. If anyone's interested, I can always give you the information. We meet 7 days a week in the morning at 7 a.m., and also we have it at night as well. And I met my first sponsor there, and she's from up here in New Hampshire, and this was back of last August of 2020. And I went to the meetings every day, but I didn't start my step work really. I did not go to my higher power, even though I did pray, but I was not doing it the way I should have been. And I want to say I was about 50 days sober, and I ended up having some stress. My husband got transferred with the Army to South Carolina. And I was just devastated, and I didn't know whether to go with him or stay with my girls. They wanted me to stay. I literally had to cut myself in half to make everybody happy. So what did Tanya do on her self-will? I drank my face off, and literally it wasn't even wine anymore. It was bottles of vodka, hiding in my room. My husband wasn't talking to me. My mom actually came and picked me up and took me to her house. And I wanted to commit suicide, and I was taken away by the police before my mom actually picked me up. And I was put in a psych hospital for overnight. And it was just horrible. My mom then took me to her house, and my sponsor that I met from What's Good About Today lives in Salem, New Hampshire. And she got me into Green Mountain, which saved my life. This is where I met Pastor Chris. And when I got there, I had fear, anger, shame, guilt, you name it. And I just held the flag, the white flag. I need help. Whatever I needed to do, I did. And I started the program. I was in detox one day, believe it or not. I didn't have to stay there for the 5 days, but I started my classes the next day. I said, game on, big book classes. This program is a big book boot camp, for those of you that don't know. And I embraced it. I did everything that they told me to. But I had my white light experience at the mountain. For those that are listening from Green Mountain, you're not supposed to go hiking, but I did because I like to walk. And the view is so beautiful. I was there in the fall, the leaves, which is gorgeous. And I went hiking up the mountain with my detox roommate, who I'm still friends with today. And the two of us went up the mountain, and it was a little slippery. That's probably why we're not allowed to go up there. And we would hold hands, and so we wouldn't fall. And I tell you, this white light came through the trees. It was all dark with the pine trees. We were walking up the hill, and these beams of light came in. And I'm telling you, this was God. And the two of us didn't even say anything to each other. We held hands, both went on our knees, and we surrendered. And I tell you, it was just so magical. Words can't even explain it. And we came back to the mountain, and I continued with my studies. Now, my husband, I didn't know at the time, he started a divorce process because he was done with me. He couldn't even help me anymore. You know, he just let it be. I knew I devastated my parents. My children were worried. And so after that moment, everything changed, and I'm not even exaggerating. A couple days later, my husband sent me roses, and he said, you know, just please give this to God. I love you. I'm here for you when you get home. Please just stay there and just do your work and just have faith. My girls were writing to me. I was on the phone with my parents, and just everything, all the healing came in. I was able to focus on my healing, because before that, even though I was reading the big book, I was busy worrying. I was doing myself well, but I let it go to God, and everything worked out. I felt like I was picked up and just being carried through this. And I met Pastor Chris. I was going to his services on Friday nights at 6 p.m. in the solarium. And then of course we spoke in detox. I started doing my step 12 work. I started volunteering to help the newcomers come in, the women that were so frightened, and because I knew how that felt, and I just wanted to be of service. I wanted to give them hope, because I received God when I was there. That program is a gift, an absolute gift, and I wouldn't be alive. And you can't just sit back and say, okay, God's going to take me. You have to do the work. You have to pray. You have to surrender. You know, you have to help others. You have to meditate. Green Mountain, step 11. Every morning we had to have our butts up at 6:30, and we had to meet up. We had to read the daily reflection. We had to pray. And we had to read on Awakening in the Big Book, and then we meditated every single day. Guess what? 9 months later, I'm still doing it every day. I now sponsor 2 people. I'm here on vacation, and I met up this past couple days. I met up with the What's Good About Today group. 70 of us met on the beach. We went to the live meeting. None of us ever met in person. We all got together. I met another AA meeting group that I belong to. We had dinner 2 nights before. Today, I'm with a friend of mine that I met through this program who has a lake house on the lake, and when I heard Laconia, I said, oh my God, that's what Pastor Chris is, because I follow on Facebook every week. And I'm like, this is not by coincidence. This is God. This is absolute God. And of course, the day I decided to come up here was the day of the storm. It was pouring rain in Long Island. I don't think you guys had gotten it yet. I think you guys get it a little bit after us. My first ferry got canceled. And right away, I got very angry. I was worried. I said, well, now what? I used my tools. Give it to God. I did my 3rd step prayer. I did my 7th step prayer. Get rid of all my character defects. And it worked. I even have a God box that one of my friends made from the What's Good About Today meeting. He made 100 of them, gave them out to everybody. Mine's on my prayer table. I put it in my box. Guess what? I got another ferry. And not only that, it was pouring rain when we got on the boat. We got on the boat, and you know what happened? The sun came out in the middle of the Sound, and it literally followed us all the way up to Massachusetts, and it stayed, and it's been here ever since. And that's not a coincidence. That's God. Another white light experience I had was my 3rd step. After Green Mountain, I decided while I was there, I was only going to stay 2 weeks. And after I had my white light experience, when I found God, and I decided to stay for the full 5 weeks because I just love the program so much. So I ended up finishing my step 4 while I was there. I have 4 notebooks full of my resentments, and fear is one of them, of speaking in front of people, and I'm standing here doing this, which 9 months ago never would have happened. And I stayed the 5 weeks. I ended up spending the weekend with my sponsor who picked me up, and she took me to the beach in New Hampshire. Now this was the Sunday before Thanksgiving, so I know up here, it's cold up here. And it was the most beautiful day. We did the 3rd step prayer together on the beach, and no one was on the beach. It was in the evening. And I have a picture of it on my Facebook. Pastor Chris, I'll have to show it to you. And whoever's interested, I will show it to you. There is like a cloud with the sun over us, and you can see the footprints in the sand from the prayer where Jesus is carrying someone, and it's the prayer called Footprints. God was there, you know, and it was such a beautiful picture. I look back at it, I'm like, again, this was God carrying me. And after that 3rd step prayer, I went to her house. I did my 5th step. It took me 9 hours to go through my resentments. And again, I just had this sense of relief and healing, and just God was in these rooms. Came home in November for Thanksgiving. My husband was still in South Carolina. I traveled back and forth to see him, did my amends. I did my, step 8 and 9. I made amends to my family, my children, my husband, and everybody was so supportive and understanding. And I am so lucky that my family forgave me and is supportive. I've met so many beautiful friends. My children and I now have a better relationship. My husband and I, we haven't had a fight since I went away. So I thought it was him being controlling. I had my whole family against him because I played the victim. And whether you point this way, the 3 fingers are pointing back, and that's what happened to me. And I see it, I'm aware of it. If I catch myself doing that now, 7-step prayer, take away my character defects, and I work on myself. This program is just a constant job, but the main thing is please give it to God. And for those that are still at the mountain, if they're gonna see this on video or later, they're still there, just please stay there. That place is a gift from God. I know it's hard, it's boot camp, it's not fun at certain times, but I am here now because of that program. I still talk about it every day. I met Pastor Chris, I met so many wonderful people, and I'm just truly grateful. And I can't believe I'm here. I watch this on Facebook every weekend, and here I am standing here, and I'm just full of gratitude. I'm happy. I wake up happy. I go to bed happy. I now love myself. I didn't love myself anymore. I just was a miserable, nasty person, and it's not like that anymore, and I just enjoy life, and God is great. God is great, and I will end with that. I love you guys all. I just met you, but I love you all, and God bless you all.
Thank you.